Hi, this is Jan from Let's Build Shopify, and in today's video I will show you how you can modify the announcement bar of your theme so that you can display the amount that is missing for someone to qualify for free shipping. And actually this is fairly easy to implement if the value only gets updated on a page refresh. So we will start building exactly that, but then we will also take it to the next level and work on updating this value without any page reloads. So if someone clicks the Add to Cart button, this should update automatically. And even if someone is on the cart page and then he decides, hey, I want to unlock this free shipping offer, so maybe I will just add another one of these, then this message should also update. And this implementation will be a little bit more advanced, so you can decide which one is better for your level of coding. And I also have to give you a small warning, because this implementation right now won't work very well in a multi-currency setup. So this would need further improvements, and this goes a little bit beyond the scope that I can teach in this video. But anyways, I think this is a great way to increase the average order value. So let's dive into it. All right, so most modern themes already come with some settings in their customizer to display an announcement bar. And you might either have an entire section that is called announcement bar, or if you're using the W theme like I do, you have the settings in the header section. So down at the bottom, I can show this announcement bar, and here I can enter the message that I want to display. And in the first step, we will go ahead and add a few settings to this section so that you can first enter a message before the free shipping is unlocked, then the success message, so when someone qualifies for free shipping, and we will also have a slider to select the threshold value from which free shipping will be unlocked. So therefore we want to navigate to our theme files and simply click the action button and then edit code. And as we saw that the announcement bar settings lie within the header section, we want to go to the section folder and simply open the file that is called header.liquid. And if your theme had an entire section that is called announcement bar, then you want to open that file within the section folder. And down at the bottom of these section files, you will find the so-called schema tag. And within the schema, we define all the settings that are available in the live customizer. So we will add our new settings to exactly that schema tag. So let's search for the settings that are already available, and they should be somewhere at the bottom. So here we have the checkbox to show the announcement bar, and down below we have the text or the input of type text to announce something here. So this is the text that will be displayed right now. And you can see that all these control elements consist of at least 3 attributes. So we have the type, which is checkbox in this case, and an ID so that we can uniquely identify this control element in the code. And we will have a label. So here it says show announcement bar, and it comes with a lot of other translations. And I think we can simply add our new settings down at the bottom, so after this last color picker. So let me zoom in a little bit so you may read this better. And then we will start by adding a comma and a pair of curly brackets. And now we have to define the 3 attributes that I just mentioned before. So we will start with the type, which will be checkbox. So this will be to enable or disable the free shipping bar. So we can put the label to, let's say, enable free shipping bar. Free shipping bar, comma again, and then we have to set the ID. And I think we can set it to, let's say, is underscore free shipping bar. And then one more comma, and let's set the default value to false. And then no comma at the end, because otherwise it would expect another attribute. And I think we can quickly save that. And I also want you to note that I prefixed this variable name with is, so that it already indicates what value lies behind it. Because for the question, is this a free shipping bar? There can only be the answer yes or no, or let's say true or false in developer terms. And this will help to make the code easier to read and easier to understand for any future developer, including myself. because if I have to check back on this in a few weeks, I won't remember every detail, but this will help me to get back on track very fast. Okay, next we can add the text field to promote the free shipping offer and the text field when someone unlocks the free shipping offer. So let's add another set of curly brackets. And the type will be text this time. And then we also have to assign an ID and a label. And now let's copy this template, but let's add a comma right here. And then we can simply paste it, because these two elements will both be of type text and therefore they will be very similar. And now the first one gets the ID, let's say, promote free shipping text. And the second one can get the ID, let's say, unlocked free shipping text. And for the label, we can simply add, let's say, message to promote free shipping. And here the message for unlocked free shipping. Let's save these two as well, because then we can see if we didn't make any mistakes, because otherwise it would throw an error. And now we can add our last control element, which will be the slider to select the free shipping threshold. So let's add one more pair of curly brackets. And this time the type will be a range element. And we can set the ID to, let's say, free shipping threshold. And I think the label can be pretty similar. So let's do threshold for free shipping. And whenever we use a range element, we have to define a few more attributes. And these are the minimum value for the slider. I think right now we can just add 0. And the maximum should be 200. And the step size should be 5 right now. And I think you can divide this interval into 100 steps. So you have to choose an appropriate step size. And what I also want you to note is that I don't wrap these values into quotes, because these are integer values and not text values. And then we can add the unit, which will be 0 in my case. And the last thing is a default value. And let's set it to 50. And then save this as well. And asset is saved, so no errors. And now we can check back on the customizer. Okay, so after a refresh on the front end, we should now see our new customizer settings in the header section. And down at the bottom, we have this checkbox to enable the free shipping bar and the two text fields for our new inputs, and even the slider with the threshold for free shipping and step size 5. So this is working perfect. And I already prepared these two messages just to save your time. So I would simply copy and paste them. But even if I check this show announcement bar checkbox and have the free shipping bar enabled, we won't see any of these values on the front end. And this makes sense because right now we just added these settings to the customizer, but we didn't use the values anywhere. So let's work on this. Okay, so back in the theme files, we will now try to find the place where the theme renders the default announcement bar. And we know that the text input for this announcement bar was a little bit above our new settings. So it's right here, type text and ID message text. So we can simply search for this variable message text and see where it's put out. And it's pretty much at the top of this file within that paragraph. And now I will try to understand what happens around this text output. So we can see that if the section settings message link is blank, then they output this container and the paragraph in between. And otherwise, so if someone defined a clickable link in the customizer settings, then they output this container and the paragraph in between. So what we can simply do now is move to the top and add another if statement. So if, and we will check for the checkbox that enables the free shipping bar. So if section.settings.isFreeShippingBar, and remember this value can either be true or false, then we want to output our own custom markup. And otherwise, so if the free shipping bar is not enabled, then we simply want to output what is already there. And then we have to terminate the if statement at the bottom. So let's do end if. And now we can work on implementing our custom markup. So let's start by assigning all the variables that we will need, but we can also quickly indent this so we know it's in between the if statement. And I think we will need 4 different variables. So the first one will be the promote text. So let's do assign promote txt. And this should be equal to whatever the user has entered into the customizer. So let's do section.settings.promote free shipping txt. And we will also apply an escape filter on that value, just in case the user has entered some weird characters that might break the HTML markup. So then with the escape filter, these characters will be replaced. The next thing we need is the unlocked message. So this was unlock free shipping txt. And we also want to escape this value. And you can see these are the IDs that we defined down in the schema tag. The next thing we want to get is the value from the threshold slider. And we will multiply this value by 100. So we can type times 100. And we do this because when we later get the current cart value, Shopify will return it in cents. And so now we can simply calculate the value that is left by having the threshold and then subtracting the cart.total price. Let's try to save it. And now we can output the announcement bar. So therefore I will copy the implementation or the container from the default implementation. Announcement bar, and then we have to close it down below. Come on. And in between I want to output the text in a paragraph. But now I don't want to put out the default message, so we can delete this. And I will wrap this in a conditional statement. So if the threshold value has been reached, we want to put out the unlocked message. And if it hasn't been reached yet, we still want to show the promote message. So if the value that is left is less or equal to 0, then I want to output a paragraph. And if it's not less or equal to 0, so else, I want to output something different. And down below, I will terminate this statement. And in between, I will now simply copy this paragraph. So now I have one paragraph if the value is less or equal to 0 and one if it isn't. And I don't want to output the default announcement text anymore, but instead I want to output our new variables, the unlocked text and the promote text. And now we should save this and test it on the front end. And as I reload this page right now, we can see our custom message for the first time. So this is already working. And now let me add a few items to the cart. So let's do 1, 2, and 3. And once I reload this page, you can now see the first problem because this value is still static. And it's not showing the difference between the current cart amount and the threshold. So this is the next thing we can address. But for now, let's add more items to the cart so that we can qualify for free shipping. And now once I reload the page or visit any other page in the store, we should see the updated message, which tells us that we unlocked free shipping. So this is also working on page reload, and we will improve on that in the advanced implementation. But if your theme doesn't use an ajax card, so this live pop-up right here, then the page will always refresh whenever you add or remove an item from the cart anyways, so you can decide if this is beneficial to you or not. Alright, so as I just said, we can now address the issue that this value is still hard-coded to 50 euros and not displaying the actual difference. And therefore we go back to the customizer settings, and instead of these hard-coded 50 euro, we will now just simply say add another, and then we will need some kind of dynamic placeholder. So we can simply type value into some brackets. And now we will go ahead and within the theme files, we can search and replace this value placeholder with the actual difference. So let's jump back to our implementation. And right here, we defined or calculated the value that is left to qualify for free shipping in cents. And now we will drop to a new line and assign a new variable. We will call it value left and then money. And it will simply equal to the value left, but we will apply a money filter on this. And this will make the amount match to the money formatting of your store. And then down below in the promote message, we now want to replace our value filter or our value placeholder, better to say. And we want to replace it with our new variable, which is value left money. So let's save it. And then we should check back on the front end. And now you can see that I don't have any items in the cart right now. And once I add the first one and then refresh the page, you can see that this jumps to 40 euros. And if I add another 2 and then maybe visit the cart page, this jumps to 20 euros. So you can see that our dynamic placeholder is replaced with the actual amount. So we are done with the basic implementation of this free shipping bar. And it took me a little bit longer to explain than I expected. So I think it will be better to do a separate video on the advanced implementation. On the other hand, I think it's very important to explain everything in detail so you really understand what is going on and you can build your skills from there. And for all the people that are interested in the second part, I will promise to upload it latest tomorrow so that you can finish the project. If you have questions regarding the first part, you can always ask them down in the comment section and I will respond to every single comment I get. And as always, I hope you learned something new and found some value in this video. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. And then I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.